YouTube. I am down here in Moonson, Massachusetts. I just came over from New Kingston, Rhode Island. First time going to Rhode Island. Um, ride up here wasn't that bad, but the load once you add in all of the extra stuff like that, like obviously your fuel, um, tolls and stuff like that, it probably should have been at least, I would say maybe $400 or $500 more, in my opinion. So I got this load going back down to I can't pronounce the part of Tennessee it is, but it's not that far west of like Murfreesboro, so it's like down I-24. So that's that. But so on my way up here, this is my second time coming up here coming up 81 in like the last 3 weeks. So this is my second time running up to 81 because I went up to Troy, New York the week before last. And so I'm just, seeing how the truck do and stuff like that. So I basically priced the stuff that I wanted to get. I priced like some turbos that are actually the same turbos that's on the truck. Like it's the actual manufacturer that originally made the Cat turbos, because Cat didn't make the turbos. The turbos were made by Garrett. And so I actually found a shop in Austin, Texas that actually has the reman ones. So they are like, I want to say, man, when you add in core, they're like almost $1,500 to $2,000 cheaper than getting one from actual Cat, like going through Cat to get them. So they're like that much cheaper. And I said I'm gonna get a PDI exhaust manifold because it's just what I wanted to get. And I said I'm gonna get the programmer, get the tuner, the PDI Big Boss tuner. So what ended up happening was all of that together, I think that was like $6,700. So I said, well, maybe I can just get two of them, or just buy them, week by week to see what's going on, since I'm gonna be, I'm working a little bit more. And I said I need to go ahead and make sure that the truck is running the way, it needs to run, because if I'm running up and down 65 or happen to get off on 81, if you're struggling, obviously your temp's going up, you're burning more fuel because the truck is, so it goes back to the first lesson that I ever wrote down. I got a truck. It's like, it's better to have more than what you need than to not have enough of what you need. And so I'm in that situation, like I don't have enough of what I need, even with the motor seemingly, being redone. So I'm just gonna put a tune in it. So I figured out, I said, you know what? I'll just get the tune, because the reason I wanted the Big Boss, the PDI Big Boss, is because it's almost like it's a little tablet. It notifies you of updates and stuff like that. If you need to make any updates, if you need to go back to stock settings, it goes back to stock settings. If you want to go economy or whatever like that, it has that in there. But I mainly want to see with the power. And then plus it has 5 additional gauges. So I don't have a lot of gauges on this truck. Obviously you got the suspension, the air, coolant oil, the basics. But I don't have a boost gauge. I don't have like a fuel gauge, like the fuel pressure gauge and stuff like that. I don't have all that stuff in here. So I'm thinking like those are some of the options on there. So I have the gauges that I got and then some additional gauges that I need. And so that will tell me mainly, I feel like the boost gauge, that'll mainly tell me, what's going on, because I saw that these turbos are supposed to do about, I think, 65 on the boost. So I'll be able to see it. So I can know whether or not, okay, I need to go ahead and switch that out. And like I said, I'm going to get the other little parts that I need and stuff, along the way. But I said I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So I went on and ordered it. Now I hadn't even got it, and this ain't no sponsor or nothing for PDI. It's just, I'm the type of person, I see certain stuff and I buy into the hype. I'm gonna be, I'll be honest. Not saying that PDI, I haven't seen like any like negative reviews. The only thing negative I've seen about PDI is like, they're a little bit overpriced, So Caterpillar's overpriced. Not saying that PDI is on the level of a Caterpillar, but sometimes some things cost a little bit more for, a myriad of reasons. Maybe you have better engineers that are working there, or or whatever the situation may be. But in any regard, so the guy called me. I was on the phone and he was like, PDI diesel, St. George, Utah. So I told my buddy, I said, let me call you right back. So the guy called, and I want to say it was a guy that I seen on one of the videos. And so he was like, is this Daryl? I was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, I was just calling. We see that you made an order for one of our tuners through Rainey's, and we want to make sure that we send you out the right one. And so he asked me the year of the truck, what type of truck, and stuff like that. Then he asked me like, okay, how many pins do you have? And so I'm like, well, based on the selection, it said for my year model engine, it was 6 pins. The only one that had 9 pins were older than 2005, and then like 2005 through 2019, like Glider. Those were the only ones that had 9 pins. So I leaned down, looked at the port, and I'm like, it's 9 pins. So right there, y'all get an A+ in customer service right there, Even though it's stated on the website, make sure that you're getting the right thing. So I thought that was interesting that they gave me that courtesy call to make sure that, they're sending out the right thing. So now I'm interested, because now I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, if they don't just have them on stock down in Rainey's, I could have just ordered directly from there, but I couldn't order directly from there because it kept showing some kind of unknown error. So my thing is, I'm hoping if y'all going to send it out, that it doesn't have to go to Florida and then come back to Mississippi. That hopefully it just comes from Utah, and then it makes its way to Mississippi. So hopefully it should be there by Friday when I get in, so I can hook it up and I can run the truck next week, and I'll let y'all know, obviously, how it does, if anything, because I figured the way they looked at it, they said you should add about 10 to 15% horsepower. So I'm thinking, okay, so if we're going from the 435, so that'll be, if you add 40 some odd, that'll be 475-ish or whatever. The exhaust manifold supposed to add another 12, 15. So obviously once I get finished with just those two particular components, then we should be, upwards over 500, horsepower. And like I said, well, I'm saying like I said, but looking at the Caterpillar uprate chart, I can, since the C15 is a family of engines, you can, the hard parts, like the core parts and stuff like that, as long as you have the torque to handle it, you can go all the way up to like a 550 within the C15 family, because all of the hard components on the inside, they are basically the same parts. So, but if you want to go, obviously more, then you have to make some changes. So I'm just go I'm just gonna see. I wanted to reach out to a guy, which I'm sure y'all may know him. The guy Wicked Antennas, the guy with the interesting looking Freightliner. I know probably around last year because I follow him on Instagram. He had to get his engine rebuilt on this truck, and I know he was talking about that he had got his engine turned up because he had like a 435. I don't know if he had a C15 or he had a 3406 or a 6NZ, but he may have had a 3406. I didn't ask, but he got it rebuilt, and I know he was saying that I'm just going by what I saw on Instagram, and he said that he was leaving it at the stock, to kind of help preserve the rebuild. But I think he may have said he went on and got impatient, so he turned it back up within the parameters. But I'm not too sure, but I vaguely want to say that I remember him saying that. But so that's what I'm gonna do, and do that. Let me tell y'all, and I'm gonna get on up out of here. But yeah, so hopefully the PDI tuner is here Friday, so I can hook it up and I can run with it next week and see how things go. But I told y'all I want to get a side box, and so a guy I was talking to, man, I hate these type of loads right here, because they'll load it like 4 across the back, and then you have like, it'll be 4, then it'll be 3 and 3. I don't like that, man. It makes it hard to tarp because the tarp doesn't sit right. But anyway, and there's something else wild about this place. They don't have a scale on site, and the closest scale is 17 miles away. So, thinking about it, if the scale is 17 miles away, and I'm getting off on a tangent, but I'm just saying, scale is 17 miles away, and I've already tarped the load. If I go and scale the load, and I'm overweight, chances are I may be a little upset if I have to come back over here and I gotta untarp. But anyway, but yeah, so I want to get a side box so I can get my straps and stuff out of here, and I have plans on redoing the floor in this truck, so it'll be a lot easier to clean and stuff like that. So I'm gonna redo the floors. I don't really like the floor in here. It makes it hard to clean. So I haven't pinpointed exactly what it is that I want to do with the floor, but I'm gonna redo the floor. But anyway, so I saw another guy that works over here, and we were talking about side boxes, and he was telling me, he said, yeah, man, if you don't want to obviously drill in the frame, they make some clamps. I said, clamps? He's like, yeah, you can just clamp it onto the frame of the trailer. I was like, all right, cool, But I never knew where to look for the clamps at. I never knew what the clamps were. So I get a free Iowa 80 book, like the Chrome Shop book. And so I just happened to be looking in the latest one I got, and there they were, the clamps. I was like, oh, okay. So you just put the clamps in the position that you want, and they say each clamp supports about 300 pounds. So I guess obviously you take in how much the side box weigh versus, they said each clamp individually. So roughly you got 600 pounds worth of support on for the combined clamps. So I saw the clamps. I said, okay. So you got the clamps, and you got the bracket. So you take the bracket and obviously get the screws, and you screw the brackets into the clamps. And then I guess you put the box in there some type of way, and it holds it, right? because I wanted a box for the step, and then I want one where I can put every single last one of these straps in here. And so, like I said, I looked at some at the Iowa 80, and I said, okay, you know, that'll suffice for me. And so the clamps, the 2 clamps they sell, $230. The brackets, 2 brackets, right at $150, $160. And the box itself was $500. So we're looking at right at $1,000, you know, for that, you know. And I can just get another top for my step over here and not be negligent and continue to forget that I sit it down and run it over for $200 tops. But I'm gonna get it because I want to have the ability to access my catwalk from both sides. So I'm gonna get it. And another thing I was thinking about, yesterday I lost a tarp, man, on the interstate. I lost the tarp. My coil tarp, I lost it. It came off. So I said, man, I'm gonna go on and get the 3-door headache rack. I'm gonna go talk to I'm gonna see if they give me a credit back at the yard. If they'll give me some type of they need to push that over some, because it's leaning off the trailer. Yeah, if they give me a credit on this one, because it's just a year old, and give me a credit towards the 3-door, because the 3-door is like $3K, and then like this open face is like $1,500. And another, like I said, so that'll help me out, because with the open face, the chains are getting rusty, like the little gold and stuff on the chains that's getting rusty and all that stuff like that. And you know, obviously your bungees and stuff like that are more subjected to the weather and stuff like that. So it's $3,500, but if you really stop and you and think about like the equipment, and then like my ratchet binders, like they got rusty and stuff like that. So I mean, obviously you can spray you know, WD-40 and stuff on it, but I mean, that's just premature wear on equipment that's not cheap at all. So you might as well just go ahead and suck it up. I should have went on and sucked it up from day one, because that's my third. Yeah, that's like my third tarp I done lost. So if you add up the price of the tarps that I've paid and what that headache rack cost, I basically could have had a 3-door. You know, if you look at it like that, you know, the loss of tarps and stuff like that. And I got another tarp back here that is beyond I ain't gonna say it's beyond repairing with the patch. I just haven't had time to roll it out, so yeah. But I'm going to try. Like I said, if the tuner does good, if I feel like I can see it, then I'll hold off on getting the exhaust manifold for a while, because I think the exhaust manifold I want, it's like with the kit and stuff like that, it's right at $2,000. So if the tuner does what you know, I can see it, then what I'll do is I'll hold off on that stuff, and I'll go ahead and I'll get the 3-door headache rack ordered, and get them to put it on, and I you know, I'll rock and roll from there, because I think they were selling used ones for like $750. So if they selling for $750, then that means I don't know what type of credit that they would give you on that. So I don't know. I just have to call and see. But anyway, man, that's that's a quick little update, man. Be nice if I can make it back down to rafting today, but I don't think I'm gonna make it back down to rafting that today. So I don't know where I'm gonna end up stopping at, but wherever I stop, I need to get me a shower, and then like I said, I'm gonna drive all day tomorrow, so I should make it in the vicinity tomorrow. I need to get my truck washed, and all that stuff like that. But yeah, that's that. But anyway, man, I'll get back with y'all, man. Y'all be safe out there, and be cognizant of the blitz.